Top of the morning to you. It is March the 30th, 2026. It is 5 minutes until 7 a.m. I want to tell you how horn honking harassment has become my new norm because my monitors sit outside and they seem to know what I'm doing in the house. This morning, I was doing a first of the morning test and I was getting horn honk harassed the very same time that this was happening, around 6 a.m. I love the imaginative idea that I have to trust others who don't deserve to be trusted, to give people the benefit of the doubt that they too are capable of change. When I am telling you this, I'm talking about pathologically sick individuals who will paint themselves, portray themselves as light beings, when in fact they are nothing of the sort. They have good personalities. They can come across as Mr. Charming and, look great in a photograph and do nice things for others using acts of service. But trust me, ladies and gentlemen, when somebody teaches you to trust your instincts, now you can call me naive, whatever you need to say about me, but I like to trust that people who are, trying to date on these sites want the same thing that I do, which is to beat isolation and loneliness and find somebody who has your back to the very end. This is a deadly game as a targeted individual, and dating makes it deadlier. I'm going to get into that. You would check my other videos. I have just released them from the vault this morning that I have been making all the while I have been dating 3 Scots. Yes, I kid you not. 3 Scots in the past 3 months. Now, we're going to use process of elimination here and take the 3rd Scot out of the equation. Although he may or may not have had a, somewhat, of a knowledge in this, being that I met him on the same dating platform. He had the same name, maybe just to try to make Scott look like not a bad person. Who knows? But we're going to dismiss him because he had no involvement in the horrific tale that I'm going to share with you. I mean, this is book worthy, you guys. So, let me use some specific words here. There's Scott A and there's Scott B. There's Scott 1 and there's Scott 2. Okay. So Scotty the Squirrel is going to be Scott 1, and Scotty the Marine is going to be Scott 2. Okay. But then, this can shift, right? And 1 can become 2, which, kind of happens, but we'll just kind of, just bear with me here. So the question is, was Scott 2 able to get just the tip in and out? And can that actually cause damage? That's one question. It's one question. Now, Scotty 1 and Scotty 2 use R&M, and God only knows what kind of devious group is behind this, using R&M, remote neural monitoring, for a targeted individual for timing. Now, the damage is already done, okay? And the perpetrator 1, messaged me last night. I'm gonna tell you, this is how narcissistic abusers behave. It doesn't matter what you say to them. They are very short, and they know exactly what to say. Regarding Scotty 2, LOL, I'm sure he has most likely. penetrated, blah, blah, blah. The second reply was already done so. In other words, I think that that was the ending to the volatile behavior, the fact that there was reproductive coercion, controlling behavior, disrespectful behavior. There were words spoken in a gaslighting abuse attempt to use, abusive gang stalking, trafficking, and by way of remote neural monitoring, using private data to diminish, to reduce confidence and self-esteem, to cause, nobody who you're dating should be mentioning suicide, right? All right, I'm getting off the subject here. Reproductive coercion was a term that I have never heard before, but because I'm very good at researching these people, now whether he is a sociopath, psychopath, garden variety sadist, narcissist, avoidant, that may have been a mislead, for me to do my research. And research is done, you guys. I'm going to make more videos on this, on the data that I have collected on these types of personality disorder behavior. And I can tell you, I can assure you that there is nothing we can do on our end. I have tried to be a loving person. I have tried to even accept behavior that I know is not right. Now, like I said, trust your instincts on this. If you are taught to trust your very first instincts on these people, don't give them 3 chances. They don't deserve it. If you suspect gameplay and foul play, you need to get out. This is physically, emotionally, and psychologically damaging reproductive coercion. It also reduces your dignity, and you have to. There is a sense of control that was spoken over me and over my body by Scotty One, who had complete disregard for my rules, my boundaries, and this was very dangerous. These men from these dating sites have played this game twice, and it has involved 2 Marines and this time 3 Scots. Yes, 3 men by the name of Scott. But like I said, the third party, we're going to exonerate him from this because he didn't have anything to do with this pathological abusive behavior. This crime has happened twice. This is no accident. It is domestic violence. All right, so I moved these photographs of these perpetrators into my favorites this morning. So there's little hearts at the bottom of them. But the reason why is because in order to share without having to rummage through to pull these photographs, and they were collected for a reason off the dating site because I knew better. And I let this go a little bit too far, but this is definitely God's way of showing you that no matter how hard we try to love someone or accept someone for who they are, these men have the potential to do devastating abuse. So I'm going to share both of the photos with you. Like I said, there are these little hearts at the bottom because I moved them to categorize them so that I can pull them fast for you. It's already triggering enough the past couple of days. The anxiety and the depression has gotten very bad, knowing that these people are getting away with it, and the public, the law is seemingly allowing them to get away with this. Now, I'm going to share with you a plate also. So this is Scotty 1. Share this with you. Okay. And this is, you can't see all the light in the background, but this is, like a yellow t-shirt, sun shining in the background. I mean, we need to see that he's obviously not an abuser. Here's another picture. Okay. Now I'm going to go on and show you the next one. This is Scotty 2, who wanted to be Scotty 1. This is the Marine. Okay. Yeah, I mean, nice photographs, right? It's got a dog. I mean, that's safe, Okay, and here is Scotty 1's license plate from his black Ram, which they've done lots of stalking. UUX3947, ladies, because they used black trucks, because there was somebody I was interested in that had a black truck right before these people came into the picture. So they know how to use tools to try to invoke some sort of, superficial interest in them. Okay. And so they run with these silly ideas, like boys with their toys, the bad boy types who want to get away with, just using whatever it is to kind of draw you, to bait you in, if you will. Now, I've been being stalked even in private locations by black trucks currently, even black vehicles, even black cars in general. And it changes. Those things change from time to time. So no, don't ever look at one source, one color scheme or anything like that as danger, because people will try to run you off the road too, especially whenever you start talking about this stuff. All right, so now that you know who the perpetrators are, Scotty 1 and Scotty 2, I mentioned this behavior before, and you can check out my channel. I have released from the vault the other videos that I have been making over the course of the last several months. Now, what I want you to know is that I took a couple years break from dating because I keep having the very same results over and over again. And I want nothing more to have somebody in my life. It's a terrible thing being a targeted individual in the first place, but life is short and it's bad and it's hard. And so I just kept believing that I could change that cycle, that I could meet somebody who is safe. But it seems as if I am being lined up on there. Like there's a batting order. And when one disappears, the next one shows, then another one, then another one, then another one. And there's just a lot of game playing going on. Like, for example, I spoke with somebody over the course of the last week or two on there, and this person kept trying to get me to just date one person. They claim they're Christian. Of course they do. These people are good people. They won't hurt you, this and that. I mean, I hear it all. I will respect you. I won't hurt you, blah, blah, blah. I'm a Christian. And, maybe he is. But they'll say things like, well, why won't you just date one person? I mean, why wouldn't you just be exclusive? Well, that's the case. That's always the case when it gets to that point, when you have earned your trust to get to that point. But I have changed up my game plan because Scotty 1 was able to do the very thing that is most dangerous, ladies, which is get me isolated, okay? Exert control immediately. Love bombing. It was love bombing, it was future faking, and blame shifting. And every time there was an argument, and mine were usually by text because I was being reactive also. And there were, both of us have sensitivities from our past, but he was the abuser. He was doing these things in person, on the phone. He was trying to control my every move, if and when I got out of bed, if and when I prayed, every little detail. This person was trying to take over. This person was using future faking, trying to tell me about, when you meet this person, and and when this person gets on the insurance, and blah, blah, blah. This is silly, you guys, okay? But this is how they kind of con you, the Don Juan of con. This is how they con you in, and they isolate you, and they are able to play stage 5 clinger, take over your life, control it, control you, control your every move, know what you're doing at every moment. And when you allow this to happen early on, especially during dating, you get very fixated because these people have charm. They have charm, and they know how to use acts of service, which is a love language, you guys. If you want to study love languages, acts of service and physical touch. And if you are a targeted individual, you know that we lack in this department. And out of the 5 love languages, I love them all. But those 2 are the very best way to get in my pants. It's just the term that these perpetrators used. Because, of course, they weren't looking to just do that. Now, I could never imagine that a person would want to cause another person to get pregnant just to control them and make them abort a baby. The conversation existed in Scott One's kitchen. That conversation happened. That conversation happened at my house, and this person got kicked out of my house because it is not their decision what to do with my body. Nor should they be attempting to disregard my safety and my well-being and my boundaries with birth control in order to, reach whatever kind of sick, community twisted smear campaigning goal this was. So in my next video, I'm going to go into research and explaining how this could go undetected and forced out in a timely manner, because with the last incident, which I assumed had just happened platonically, that was just a accidental thing with the first Marine several years ago that this had happened with. I didn't see it as, I saw it as abusive, but I never saw the reproductive coercion part of this until now. So I'm going to explain to you how they can use the R&M and how they can time this so that it could look like a chemical pregnancy, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, somebody told me that this person was a piece of shit. Yeah. Piece of shit is not quite right. More like criminals. These people are criminals. And God only knows if they work together or not. I mean, they played it like they didn't know each other, but one would creep up at the store, then the other one would disappear, then the other one pops up again. It's just really strange behavior to date several people with the same name at the same time. Both of them had dangerous behavior, which just seemed to revolve around, them getting their emotionally unavailable, insecure, personality disordered, domestic violence game plan on, using somebody like me. And like I said, you don't go into these things thinking that everybody is out to hurt me or uh, to cause my harm. But these men are very, very dangerous on these sites. Now, this was Facebook dating, and reports have already been made. However, anyway, um, I just wanted to share this story so that it hopefully helps other people. I feel really bad for women nowadays, especially women who are younger than I am, who are looking for love and somebody decent. You would think that these men would self correct, but they are self destructing. And I couldn't even imagine that somebody would do this to me. But this person also ghosted this Scott 1, who has now become Scott 2, by the way. Get it? You're a piece of shit. Is now Scott 2. So, what was I saying? Oh, I lost the thought. I might have to go back and look at that and then write it in the chat. So, yeah, but the timing is already very good for them to get away with breaking the law, being a criminal, using another person. And like I said, the very short but sweet message from the avoidant psychopath, was already done so. So Scotty 1 now turned to Scotty 2. Like I said, I want to believe in corrections. I want to believe that people can be better and get better. But this is an impossible reality. Sometimes these perpetrators are envious and jealous of us because we are empathic. We have sensitivity towards others. We have belief in others. We are, for the most part, kind and caring to others. Of course, I recognize that I was being abused and I was being gaslighted in this situation. And I stayed because the need and the desire to have a relationship, to beat the system, to beat the isolation, to beat being a targeted individual is there. And these perpetrators know that. And they know how to take advantage of it. All right, so I do have a GoFundMe page. I haven't been posting that, but you might find that in one of my other videos. Hit the thumbs up if you like this, which I mean, if I were you, I probably would hit a thumbs down if it's available. Share with others because it's really important to get these things out there. You have to be kind of a mastermind and an elite in your field to be able to figure out these perpetrators sometimes, because nobody else out there is telling you and warning you of the very types of crimes that are instituted that can go undetected and hidden. You know how these abusers work, but to know that they would be so filthy to go that low and to create, that changed all sorts of things, not only from making your body very uncomfortable and miserable, but to emotionally and psychological damage, physical changes, things that could, make or break somebody, or wreak havoc on their lives, make things more difficult, make you dependent on somebody else. There are all sorts of reasons why these perpetrators could infiltrate such an underhanded plan. And as you well know, if you are a targeted individual, sometimes medical professionals will work in hand in hand. Now, I did want to mention that when I first suspected that this was the issue, and I have 4 babies, by the way. So when I first suspected what was going on, I was scared to go to the doctors. I don't visit the doctors regularly, especially nowadays, and knowing what we're up against, right? What kind of battles we're fighting out there. But I did go 3 trips in the same day. I went to 2 different doctors' offices and told them, and I went to the hospital. Uh, and like I mentioned, I am going to go into details about chemical pregnancies and things of that nature, and how these criminals can use remote neural monitoring and or other tactics to create the perfect crime to go undetected by using specific dates and timing to implement this. Stay tuned and be safe out there. Look out for these bad guys. Pray. It's the best thing you can do.